It's wild to think that Star Trek is turning 60 next year, and to think of the mantra like to boldly go where no one has gone before really is a defining, I think, mantra of this series. So we just love to know for each of you, what has that mantra meant to you personally?
Such a good question.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
I think boldly going to me means going with as much of your humanity as possible.
I think it means to be completely open to these huge swings, these genre swings that they keep sending our way, and things that we never thought we'd be doing.
What it means for me as an actor, I mean, just contributing to such a momentous kind of institution that's also got such a positive message and has been so steadfast in its like optimism and positivity for the whole time that it's existed.
Thank you all so much for joining us today on the Movie Podcast. You know, we're such absolute fans of the show, and anytime we've gone to some sort of convention like CCXP, Fan Expo, Comic-Con, Star Trek pops off like crazy. Like everybody loses their minds when you start talking about Star Trek. So it's such a great time to be a part of it.
It's wild to think that Star Trek is turning 60 next year, and to think of the mantra like to boldly go where no one has gone before really is a defining, I think, mantra of this series. So we just love to know for each of you, what has that mantra meant to you personally?
Such a good question.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
I think boldly going to me means going with as much of your humanity as possible to reveal all pieces of yourself, the things that are the things that you're confident in, but also the things that also are a work in progress. To show up as your most honest self is to go boldly, especially in all of the different identities that we capture, all the pieces of our history and our culture that we get to share through our characters, and just through being representatives for who we are, just sitting on the Enterprise and being ourselves. And to go boldly is to live in that and honor that and celebrate that in the face of what is an incredibly tumultuous time. I think going boldly is going honestly, going empathetically, and going with gratitude.
Yeah, and being afraid and doing it anyway.
Yeah,
right? Because that's what it is, and I think that's one of the many things, but also one of the main things that makes Star Trek so timeless is that we're talking about space exploration. We're talking about a thing that we dream about, we talk about, we imagine, we read stories about. And there's just it's that human nature to go beyond what we know and to discover. And like Celia was saying, with everything that is happening now, I think sometimes there's this feeling of you can feel hopeless, and you can feel like when you are afraid and when you are you do feel broken, that it kind of like almost like paralyzes you. And this idea of like, even when it does feel hopeless and when you are afraid, you do it anyway, and you go forward, and you don't know what's going to happen, and it's not going to be perfect. But we're going to have fun while we're doing it, and I think that's so much of that is what Trek is.
I think it means to be completely open to these huge swings, these genre swings that they keep sending our way, and things that we never thought we'd be doing. And I know we're not supposed to talk about season 4, but I mean, I just did something in season 4 that was a challenge I never knew I wanted.
And boy, did she nail it.
But it's like, okay, yeah, I'm game. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's see what happens. But I just think genre-wise, because we go not just from horror straight into comedy, straight into musical. It's just, they keep coming. Just when we think they can't outdo themselves, they come up with something else.
Right.
And we didn't think we could outdo season 2. I think season 3 is incredible.
Season
4 is outrageously good. We've been hearing murmurings about what happens in season 5, which we're so excited for. I think we're thrilled to see this 5-year mission all the way through and really explore worlds stranger and newer than we even thought possible.
Yeah. What it means for me as an actor, I mean, just contributing to such a momentous kind of institution that's also got such a positive message and has been so steadfast in its like optimism and positivity for the whole time that it's existed is a huge gift as an artist to be able to contribute your sensitivities and your energy to that, because it's sometimes as an artist you don't have a lot of places to put your art, so to be able to share it in that way to a positive end, and in a way that like allows people to find hope and understanding of themselves and catharsis is like so special.
And just like because of the genre shifting, you feel like you're boldly going where you've never been before, and you're like, oh my god, like what's next? It's kind of nerve-wracking all the time, I do a sketch show in Scotland every year, and sometimes they throw at you like impressions. They're like, you do an Alan Cumming impression, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I feel like I'm equally as terrified of this. It's like you never know what they're going to ask of you next. Do you know what I mean? It's terrifying.
I feel like they just throw it at you. They're like, okay, now this, and you're like, now? Like, okay.
Yeah, you get the script. You're filming this Tuesday.
Yeah.
And when you look at right now, being a part of the show for so long, what's kind of been your favorite memory of making this series?
It would be the musical episode for me. Personally, I have a theater background. I'm a theater kid at heart. And so I think not only getting to film it, but also the widely positive reception of it, I think that will be something that I look back to with nothing but fondness and wanting to like relive that experience over and over again, because it was so good to me and for me. And so the musical episode definitely is one of my favorites.
Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, for me, season 1 will always just be the most magical time, because we knew that it was a show that fans wanted. And so there was a lot of responsibility in that. And it was also, the world was still really coming out of and still in pandemic times. And we were shooting in Toronto, and all of us were from everywhere in the world. And so we couldn't travel back to our homes. And Toronto was in lockdown pretty much until the end of filming of season 1. And so really our whole world was our cast, was Strange New Worlds, was Star Trek. Like we'd have interviews and they'd be like, what did you guys do for fun? And I was like, we hung out on the bridge. And so, and so it was just a really, really magical time. And then to start shooting season 2, and then fans finally got to see season 1, and they were just like, this is exactly what we wanted and more. Just that year of filming was everything.
Well, that's a resolve.
And my favorite memory, I have more favorite memories like every season, as in we get to play, and we get to play in so many different ways. And, I was on a horse, a number of times in the last 2 months, shooting right now. And it's just, so the favorite moments are too many to recount.
That's fair.
It's a gift.
For me, my first like really kind of special, well, not my first moment, but one of my really special moments was working with this one. Because I was like, wow, I actually get to use my own little doggy. I get to dress up as a princess. She gets to dress up as a princess dog. And I just did not know that Star Trek could bring me that kind of experience, that we would be in a fairy tale land playing a little girl's dream of being in a huge dress. And for me it was again the big swings, the big genres.
For me it was, I guess I watched reruns of the original series with my mom as a kid, so going to my first fitting and putting on that gold uniform for the first time just brought tears to my eyes. And then walking onto the set of the bridge of the Enterprise was a real out-of-body experience for me, like several real pinch me moments. But I would say the musical episode was a really special one for all of us.
And even just recording that. I remember you just finished recording yours, and I came into the recording studio and I had tears in my eyes. I went and listened to her song, and I was like, oh my God, this is a beautiful song. She's got such a beautiful voice. And, for me, I was like, it was my career had kind of gone 360, because I started in musical theatre, and then now Star Trek has brought me back to singing and musical theatre. I couldn't believe it. So there was a couple of moments in season 3, one of them being the episode 2 with the wedding, where there was we were waiting for a new setup to happen. Everyone was in the beautiful wedding outfits. We were all just dancing, like on set, having like all of the like non-alcoholic Guinness, like, you know, just like sitting around in our like incredible outfits. People were like dressed up as like beautiful aliens.
Yeah.
People were like ballroom dancing with each other. I was like, I feel already nostalgic for this moment, you know, like this is so special and I can't believe this is part of my life story.
There was a day with Jonathan Frakes. It was so cool. It was just like, I was like, I mean, it was episode 4, but it was, for me, it felt early on in the season and I was still kind of coming to terms with everything. And I don't know, it was just all departments were all cool, you know what I mean? I had a bunch of scenes throughout the day and I had a different cast member in each scene, and then SFX were going crazy and we had pyro and it was just so cool. And it was like the first time I was like, oh my God, like so many spinning plates and yeah, it was really exciting.
For both of you, to see the worlds that the show creates, what's the most fun part about shooting in these environments, but also what's the most challenging part about being on set and maybe not always knowing what's it going to look like at the end of it?
That's part of the fun of it for me, is not knowing what it's going to look like, especially when we get to work on the AR wall. You know, the volume where all the LED screens can project assets that are these strange new worlds that we go to, and there's always a blend of the actual physical set and then the AR wall. And so knowing what it could possibly look like and then experiencing what it actually looks like.
Sometimes it's shocking. Like, it doesn't look that great in person, or, you know, you're acting opposite a tennis ball attached to a stand, and you're, I mean, like, remember we walked outside on the saucer section?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Remember? And it was just us standing on like a big black box, and they were just telling us what it was that we were looking at, you know?
Yeah.
And then to see what it ends up being is so, we're like the audience seeing it for the first time, you know?